Now, it's not really surprising Lego Indy was the first Lego game outside of Star Wars to get made, because the series always has kind of had a connection with Star Wars, even without the fact that Harrison Ford plays major parts in both series. Star Wars comes out with new fancy special effects to make the fantasy world and George Lucas's mind come to life. And then Indy comes along and uses that same technology for face melting and monkey brains. Star Wars uses CGI to make action scenes and give things a much grander scale. Indy uses it to make gophers and weird aliens. So, Star Wars makes a toy tie-in video game. Indy comes in using pretty much the same engine to do its own take on the gameplay. However, Indy being the first game after Star Wars to be made wasn't the original idea. Flashback to after Lego Star Wars 1 came out, they were actually working on getting the rights to make a James Bond Lego game, which, that does make sense. The Activision games were doing pretty well, especially with the fact that a lot of the games included multiplayer modes that apparently riddled kids' sleepovers at the time. So, popular with kids, make a Lego game. That sounds pretty good. Activision was on board, the movie rights holders were on board, and even Lego showed interest in at least letting them use the license. Bit of speculation, there might have been a chance that they would have actually done Lego James Bond sets. Ooh. The whole James Bond idea kind of fell apart after Casino Royale came out, so Lego Bond never got that strong of a foothold. They then made a test animation for Lego Indy, and everyone was on board with making that game. Except Lego, because there weren't any new movies out in the time, so they couldn't really make sets on it. So it was a no-go. So they went to work on completing the Compleat Saga and making Lego Batman. And then suddenly Kingdom of the Crystal Skull was announced, and also Lego was gonna make sets for that movie and the 3 other movies as well. So Traveler's Tales delayed Lego Batman for a few months to free up some resources, and developed Lego Indiana Jones in about 7 months. Impressive, say the least, but does the quick development time affect the game at all? Well, graphics-wise, not really. It looks great, especially the Wii version. I am surprised with how powerful this little white box is. From the shine of the college ground to the sand textures.
I don't like sand.
It all looks nice. They were also pretty accurate to how the sets look at the time, which is, good for a toy tie-in. Speaking of accuracy, the game does look surprisingly accurate to the film. I expected, most of this stuff to be cut out because, oh my god. They did tone down some things a bit, but they still stayed pretty close to the movies. It's not like they added an unnecessary final boss that didn't even come from the movies. Why would you do that? I'm not foreshadowing for anything. But the things like the character deaths, slave children, chilled monkey brains, you name it, it probably isn't here. Except Nazis. Can't expose kids to them, even if telling kids to punch Nazis is a good thing. It's not really much of a stretch for level ideas either. Nothing's really made up. Extended, yes, but nothing made up. Yep, everything from the movies is represented relatively well, kind of like in Lego Star Wars, so it's not really setting an example and more just following a trend. That's actually how I would describe the entire game exactly. It's just following Lego Star Wars lead, and that's not really a bad thing. Lego Indy follows Lego Star Wars' footsteps, but it's a much more refined experience. Controls are a little less floaty, and Indy gets a whip as a new attack. Yeah, which you can shake the Wii remote if you want, but button controls do the exact same thing, so don't shake the Wii remote, you'll dislocate your wrists. Graphics are a touch better, and it's about the same length as the first 2 Lego Star Wars games individually. It's also easier to find levels in my opinion. Like Lego Star Wars, you just kinda have to walk into a door and go, oh, I guess this is a movie now. Here, it's just sitting out in the open on corkboards and you're placed right in front of him. Very easy. Actually, while we're here, let's talk about the hub. Burnett College. Yeah, it's actually really cool. It's very warm and cozy, kinda like an actual college campus. Every option you get is represented by a different classroom. You get cheat codes, which I wouldn't use. Why would you think that? You can rewatch cutscenes in the projector room. Your red bricks are in the mail room. I'll get to one in a little bit. You go down a long hallway to reach the character creator. One thing I forgot to mention last time too, but I showed it off, so it's fine. Character creator doesn't really serve for much, except if you want to put together a specific character. It's a bit clunky and hard to figure out, but it's fun to mess around with at least. Alright, the hub's done with, and now onto the levels. Whenever you start a level, you get locked with Indy and whoever was with him in the movie scene that the level's based on, and everyone has some kind of special abilities. There's Indy with his whip, as previously mentioned, returning abilities like high jumps and small crawl spaces, but there's even some new abilities like digging, mechanical repair, glass shattering, death cult worshipping, and the ability I like to call book smart, where a character that has a book is able to solve a puzzle. Some levels you can actually get most of the collectibles the first time around. But you're still going to get a lot of your collectibles from free play mode, where you pick whatever character you want and grab all of the mini-kits. Except they're called artifacts now. The character roster this time around is actually kind of, bad. The only characters you're going to need are Indy, which is good because there's 5 or 6 different versions of him, and a rocket launcher guy that, others, and pretty much every other character you'll use rather sparingly. Most of the roster's kind of useless in that respect. And seriously, there's 5 Indies. Did we need that many? Collectibles are kind of similar to Lego Star Wars. Mini kits are called artifacts, like I mentioned before. Studs fill up the True Adventurer bar to grab you a gold brick. Actually, gold bricks are gone this time around. Huh. But you get a stud bonus that destroys your eardrums every time you get True Adventurer. Ow! The red bricks have been changed a little bit. They're UPS packages now. Parcels, I guess. Unlike the normal red bricks, you don't directly pick them up. You pick them up and drag them over to a mailbox. So now the challenge isn't just how you find them. It's gonna be a challenge that requires you to carry the parcel to a mailbox within a certain time limit across dangerous terrain, or sometimes it's building up the actual mailbox you need, or it's actually finding the parcel. It actually adds a lot of depth. I like it. So anyways, I'm just going through free play grabbing stuff, so it's not... I'm sorry, what? So yeah, in some levels, characters from Star Wars need rescuing. There's C-3PO, Luke, Chewbacca, Leia, and R2. Finding them unlocks Han Solo. Repaying the cameo Indy had in the last game. It's a bit weird, honestly, but why not? It's pretty nice to have. He's also a pretty cool character as well. Oh yeah, there's also bonus levels. There's a Lego Indy level based on the beginning of The Last Crusade. There's the warehouse based on the ending of Raiders, and then there's the Ancient City, the game's Million Stud Challenge. Really not much to say other than that. It's mostly just an updated Lego Star Wars formula with a few tweaks to make it work for Indy. Honestly, I wish I had more to say other than it's just Lego Star Wars but for Indiana Jones, but that's what I'm saying. With that being said, it's got the same level of quality as the Star Wars games. And if you like that one, but you have a soft spot for the fedora-wearing adventurer, then this is one to check out. Hey, it might be worthwhile to do so before the next movie comes out. Or starts production. I don't think we're getting that 5th movie for anytime soon. Hey, so, I recorded that 6 or 7 months ago, before we got any concrete details on the new Indiana Jones. Man, I look like an idiot.